Hello, it's Valerie from Shalebrook Handcrafted Soap in Nova Scotia. And I'm going to do a hot process video today on, it'll be high temperature, but I wanted to share something with you that I found about chia seeds. And even though I eat chia seeds and they're incredibly healthy for you and everything, I happened to see something that perked my interest, or maybe God brought that up to me about I could use the jelly from the chia seed once it soaks in liquid to put into soap, because supposedly it's good for hair and it's good for skin. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to try that because that's quite interesting. So I actually soaked my chia seeds, and I went to take the liquid from around the seed. I never thought it would be an issue, but it was a big issue. And I thought I would just let them soak through a strainer, but they would not soak through a strainer. And then I thought, well, you know what? I will push them through the strainer. And I couldn't push them through the strainer either. I have a real fine mesh strainer. And I thought, wow, what am I going to do? Because I had my oils heated. So I just measured off with 3.5 ounces with the seeds and the liquid, and I put them in the soap. Now, I'm not a fan of exfoliating soaps, but I have customers that are, and I know people are. And I'm not thrilled with the seeds in it, although they're a great exfoliation. But I am thrilled with the liquid in there, and when I added it to my oils, it actually turned the oils like milky, and it cooks to a dark color. But the thing that I found fabulous about this, that I wanted to share with you, is that I put no silk in my soap this time. I just used that liquid, and it actually was way better than the mulberry silk I use. For whatever reason. I don't know if it's way better, but it's just different, and it has a luscious lather, which will be indicative of your formula too. So then I posted that soap, which looks like this. It's my chia seed soap. Sorry, I might have went up too fast. So you can see the chia seeds in there. That's from the mini mold. And this was in my flower mold. And I love the color, and that was from, I think it was 2 teaspoons of annatto liquid, done in hot water and strained. So, and that's the other side with hot process. But you can see the seeds in there, and you can see, actually, the color in person is gorgeous. It's like a yellow gold. Anyway, fabulous stuff. So I wanted to do a video on it, and I actually went on, when I posted the soap, and asked for suggestions of maybe how I could get it off. And since that time, my husband also found it, how somebody gets that jelly off the chia seeds. And supposedly you let your chia seeds soak in your water, and like overnight or for 8 hours or 12 hours, and then you heat them, and then you put them in a nylon stocking and squeeze it out. Well, I did that, and it didn't come out. So I actually ended up taking them, and I'll just show you what they look like now. But so that's probably, I don't know if you can see that. So that's the chia seeds, and still jelly in there. Yeah, okay, you can see that. And I actually put them on top of a strainer and squeeze, and then I took them out and just squeezed them with my hands to get the liquid out. So I got real big muscles in my hands now, because that was not easy. So this is what I got out. But I mean, that was a tremendous amount. It must have been 15 minutes, 20 minutes of squeezing, and so it wasn't easy. I thought it would be easy, but that's the liquid I'm going to use today. I'm going to use the same formula, and I'm going to use, I think this is 4 ounces. Let me see my formula. Yeah, so I have 4 ounces of that chia seed gel. And I'm going to use a ½ ounce of eucalyptus essential oil and a ½ ounce of citronella. That is my, I would say, top of my favorite essential oil smells right now is citronella. The other thing about citronella that you should check out is it's just not good for bugs. It's way better for all kinds of other things like your skin. It has incredible benefits for your skin. So you should check that out anyway. I just love the scent. It's incredibly fresh and beautiful. So I used a ½ ounce of citronella, ½ ounce of eucalyptus, and a 2-pound soap. This is a 2-pound soap. So I'm going to get everything ready. There's no silk in this. I am using coconut milk and yogurt, super fattening with apricot kernel oil. The oils and fats I'm using are Babassu, Castor, Kokum Butter, olive oil, palm oil, Stearic Acid, and Tallow. And I'm going to soak this at 35% Lye Liquid. So we'll see how that goes. So thank you for joining me today, and I hope you enjoy this. I will post the recipe, and I will bring you back for pertinent areas of the cook when I'm cooking this. Thank you very much. See you soon. So I'm just going to add my Chia Seed Gel liquid there, and that was warm. And you can see already how that turned that like milk. I'm thinking this might be a pretty fast cook, although my oils are only 156 there, but my lye is around about 190, 195. So I'm just going to keep you on there just till I get the lye in there. Now, I was going to say, I'm just going to keep you on until I bring that to thick trace so you can see the color. Forgot to put my glasses on, so just give me a second. Okay, good to go. So that's at thick trace, and I'm just going to clean this off, and when anything starts to happen to the batter, I'll bring it back so you can see how that turned that milky, even before I added the lye. Actually, that's the important thing. Okay, so I just wanted to bring you back and show you that this right now, that was actually probably 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And because when you're cooking at high heat, and depending on your formula, if you get a lot of stearic in it, that can happen. So I just wanted to show you that. And basically that's applesauce right there. And I just wanted to show you that. Just wanted to bring you back because I wanted to show you that we're at, this is what we call mashed potato stage, or this is what I call mashed potato. Looks exactly like mashed potato. Sometimes, depending on your formula, it'll go through or not go through. Now, this was done at 35%, and I did save about 2 ounces of coconut milk to add after the cook. So I just wanted to show you that, and it won't be too much longer, and we'll be at Vaseline stage, and that's what you want, Vaseline stage. Thank you. Hi, so we're at Vaseline stage. So there we go. That is thick Vaseline. And it actually, it's not as brown as when I had to season it. When I had to season that, that was real brown. So for whatever reason, I don't know if the seeds affected that or whatever, but this is thick Vaseline. I just turned the heat off. It was on warm. And now I'm going to add my super fat, which is the apricot kernel oil. Now, I always super fat a bit up front, and some after the cook. Altogether, this one is super vatted at 8%. You can do it however you like. I keep everything hot that I'm adding. I have a fry pan on the stove, hot water in it, and this is my sugar and maple syrup. And I normally always add a tablespoon of sugar per pound of soap. So that was 2 tablespoons of sugar and a tablespoon of maple syrup with a couple of tablespoons of water. And I do not deduct that tablespoons of water from my total lye liquid. And actually this is a bit hotter than I would have liked before adding that, but so you can see it's still real thick there, but I'm not too worried about that because I have my yogurt to put in and I have my coconut milk to put in yet. Now right now I could actually mold that if I wasn't going to do anything else with it. And I've started using plastic wrap that is reusable, like shower caps. The other thing I wanted to tell you about, I use this all the time. It is a bottle of very fine mist spray, hot water spray. And I've been doing that for quite a few years now. It really helps to cut back on dry stuff. So this is a very fine mist spray, and it's not boiling hot water because it would bend that plastic, but that is basically hot water. And I'll keep that over on my stove as well. So I'll bring you back in just a few minutes when I go to add my sodium lactate and my yogurt. So it's been a couple minutes and I'm going to add my sodium lactate and my yogurt. Now I've tried many different ways adding my yogurt and my sodium lactate. So I've noticed lately I've been adding I used to do all kinds of things, but what I was doing before the last few soaps was adding my yogurt and then adding my sodium lactate. I switched it around and started adding my sodium lactate and then my yogurt, and it actually seems to have worked better. So I'm going to add my sodium lactate, which has been warmed up. And I still have my Adobe part in my crock because personally I find that the heat helps to keep it better, keeps it more manageable. But you should do exactly what you'd like to do. Don't try to be like me. If there's something that you can take from these and use, great, and then make it your own. And yogurt, I never heat yogurt up, but I usually always have it at room temperature. And when you add that, you want to make sure that you stir that in really well so it doesn't cook in the heat, because you can get little pieces of it in there. And I don't know if you can see there, but already that has that's actually very designable right now. And before I didn't get it like that with adding, for whatever reason, so that's pretty neat. Actually, it's not a bad color at all either. That makes me wonder why my last batter with the seeds turned brown. Okay, so I'm just going to let that sit just till it cools down a bit, about another 2 more minutes, and I'll bring you back. Okay, so I'm going to, that was about 1 minute, and I'm not really going to wait. I'm going to add my essential oil, and that's been warmed up, heated as well. I imagine the temperature of this batter is probably like 180. I'm going to guess at that. I didn't check it, but I've never found that my scents ever burned off. Flash point has to do with if they'll catch on fire, and it's definitely not going to do that in my batter. Alcohol might burn off, I guess. So those thickened up the batter a bit more, and that usually happens. And now I'm going to add my coconut milk. And I add my coconut milk hot, and I make sure when I add it that I constantly stir it a bit by bit because I've had it scorch on the bottom. And even though the crock isn't on, it's still in the element, so. I love coconut milks and soaps. I like it way better than goat milk. I do put goat milk in, but only for certain soaps for my customers. I just find that coconut milk adds a real better lather, helps to add better lather. Okay, so that isn't real loose by any means, but I'm hoping I'm going to be able to pour that into some silicone molds. And this is my annatto seed powder that I had in really hot boiling water, not boiling, but really hot scalding water, and then I strained it because I don't want those gritty particles. And I'm just going to add a teaspoon at a time to see, because I've learned that I can usually color this way too much. I really love the color in the other one, but it's going to be a different thing, I think. And I think I'll add just a bit more. Well, I think I'm going to add another teaspoon. Oops. I don't know if you can see that, but that has a real beautiful sheen to it. And that's what I noticed the last time with this. It was that it had just like you were using silk. Okay, and I'm just going to spray that because I don't want that to... I'm going to shut the camera off because I'm going to heat up a pouring container so that I can pour these into my silicone molds, and I'll bring it back when I do that. So here we are back, and I wanted to show you that I always heat my silicone molds in the oven. I find that it really works better for hot process. And this is where I poured some of it. I still have some in the crock pot, but I just find it'll pour better from here. And it's not loose by any means, but it's not bad. So I like to keep them full. It's a really nice golden color there. As you can see that. Okay, and I just usually tap them down a bit. And just push them back in there. And the thing with this, when you're doing it this way, you do have to be a bit faster because of how it will harden pretty quick. Now, what I'm going to do with those is, I won't show me doing the other loaf mold, sorry. Trying to hurry and mixing up my words here. But what I'm going to do is just do a little curly Q in the tops of these, if I can. They don't harden too fast. And then what I'll do is I'll take these out. I'll take some pictures of them. I'll show a lather test, and I'll put that all together in my video. So thank you so kindly for joining me for this chia seed gel, and hope you give it a try. Always learning something new. Thank you so kindly for stopping by. See you again next time. This is the puck, the lather test from the chia seed gel. Beautiful. The feel of this formula and that gel is lovely. You can see that you get lots of bubbles, but you get this lather. Thank you.